Yo guys, today we're gonna look at some more alternate possibilities in Danganronpa. More specifically, let's look at which characters could have been really good masterminds. Whenever I go into a new Danganronpa game, I'm always thinking about who the mastermind could be, and here are 5 characters that I thought had really good mastermind potential, but just didn't end up getting the role of mastermind. We're actually going to start off this list with a very strange entry. The 5th spot is going to Atua. And I know that's going to sound strange to many people, but imagine going through the whole game thinking Angie is just this girl who believes in this fake god, and then it turns out that Atua is actually a real person. I don't know why, but the thought of that is just really funny to me. It could also create a lot of good foreshadowing moments as Angie tells everyone what Atua says, so if Atua is the mastermind, Angie would basically be revealing what the mastermind is saying to the cast. If Atua really was the mastermind, I feel like going back and looking through all of Angie's dialogue would just be really fun, because there's a lot of potential for foreshadowing with this. And as for Angie's role, I guess she could technically be an accomplice to the mastermind. You know, just the person working for the mastermind. And in the Danganronpa world, that person would be known as the traitor. So yeah, very weird entry to start off this list, but don't worry, the other 4 aren't as weird as this one. Now, at the start of V3, if you told me Kirumi had mastermind potential, I would not have believed you. But after finishing V3, I felt like she really could have been the mastermind. The moment that really makes me think she could have been a good mastermind was when it was revealed that she was the Prime Minister of Japan. I mean, it would easily explain how the killing game was organized if it was organized by the most powerful person in the country. Also, if they still went with the route that this is a reality show, it would be pretty cool to see Kirumi as the mastermind and her telling all the other characters that Danganronpa is the will of the people, and she's serving the people of the world just as she is supposed to. Also, I think it's a cool idea to make the maid the mastermind. Usually it is the maid that gets ordered or controlled, but in this case, Kirumi will be the one controlling the killing game, which is pretty cool. This one is probably going to seem weird to some of you guys, but I'm giving the number 3 spot to Yasuhiro. My reasoning here is who I thought the mastermind was my first time playing through Danganronpa 1. Now, Junko was always my first pick for mastermind, and I think she's pretty obvious as a mastermind, but I also had a second pick for the mastermind, and that was Yasuhiro. You may ask why. What makes it look like he could be the mastermind? Well, there are a few things that made me think this. First, remember that one scene in chapter 3 where Hifumi says Yasuhiro killed him? I thought this was really strange because I didn't understand how he could know Celeste's last name was Yasuhiro. Now I realize it's probably because he remembered his school life in Hope's Peak as he was about to die, but at the time, this made me a little suspicious of Yasuhiro. Not only that, but despite him being one of my favorite characters, I understand what people mean when they say Yasuhiro has no role in the game. Yes, he is comic relief, but he's never involved in the cases too much. Yeah, sure, he's the one who gets kidnapped in chapter 3 and hits Sakura in the head in chapter 4, but every other surviving character had more involvement in the cases. There was Toko's genocide Jack reveal in chapter 2, Byakuya messing up the crime scene in chapter 2, Aoi trying to kill everyone in chapter 4, and Kyoko and Makoto's involvement throughout the whole game. Yasuhiro's role is comic relief, but his involvement in the trials isn't that big. So if he was the mastermind, that would give him a much larger role. The last thing that makes me think Hiro could have been the mastermind is his talent. 30% accuracy seemed terrible to be called an ultimate, so a possible theory I had is, what if he's lying? What if he's just pretending to be bad at fortune telling and he actually has 100% accuracy? This could explain why he's the ultimate clairvoyant and why he gets so much predictions in the game correct. But also, this could make him way too overpowered, which makes him a potential mastermind, but it is kind of boring that way. Maybe something like 99% accuracy is better, and they found the 1% chance that like they escaped and stuff. But yeah, Yasuhiro didn't end up being the mastermind anyway, so whatever. There's always that one character. That one character that the whole cast loves. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the characters in the game. These characters love this one specific character so much that they would be willing to die for them. But imagine if this character ended up being the person that trapped everyone inside and forced everyone to kill each other. This is what Kaito Momota could have been. Now I'm well aware that Kaito isn't the most popular Danganronpa character, but in the game, Kaito gets worshipped by his friends like Angie worships Atua. Kaito is basically like a shonen protagonist in the sense that he makes all these heroic speeches and is respected by most of the cast. But imagine if Kaito ended up being the mastermind. All his friendship speeches, the push-up meetings, him believing in everyone, all of these lies. It fits with the theme of V3 and at the same time will create despair for the cast. Two of the survivors will be heavily affected. If you don't know which two I'm talking about, it's Shuichi and Maki, as they were the closest to him. But even the rest of the cast would be affected because it really did seem like everyone liked Kaito. Although I did like the ending for V3 and the route they went, this could have been a really cool alternative. I really would have liked seeing an evil Kaito and how everyone would react to that after defending Kaito for so long. I mean, we kind of got that in the game with chapter 6, but it would be cool if Kaito was there in person. Now, I wanted to put an honorable mention here because I don't think this person really deserves to be on the list, but I did think there's a possibility this person could have been the mastermind, and it's for a funny but cool reason. During my first playthrough of DR2, I had a dream. A dream where Mahiru had red eyes and just looked crazy evil. And when I say red eyes, yes, I mean the same type of red eyes that she had in DR3. Now, I don't remember my dream too well, but from what I remember, Mahiru had red eyes and the expression of a certain culprit in the Ace Attorney series. I don't want to say who just because of spoilers, but I'll just say a female Ace Attorney villain that has a really mad facial expression when she gets caught, and hopefully most Ace Attorney fans understand who I'm talking about here. Either way, this dream just made me think Mahiru could possibly be the mastermind. Really, I just thought it would be cool if my dream turned out to be true, and she wasn't the mastermind, but hey, my dream kinda turned out to be true in a way, cause again in DR3, we see a picture of her in her ultimate despair form, and she has red eyes, so I think I just misinterpreted my dream. But with that done, let's move on to the number 1 spot. This one is obvious. At least I think it's obvious for most people. Just think of the first person that comes to your mind when you think of someone who just seemed like they could be the mastermind. Someone that's just very sus. A certain princess with a funny last name. I don't think I'm alone when I say that Sonia had so much potential to be the mastermind. Now, oddly enough, during my playthrough of Danganronpa 2, I wasn't thinking about who the mastermind could be as much as I did in the other 2 games. Now I think I understand why. Danganronpa 2 intentionally doesn't bring up the topic of the mastermind that much, and it's because the mastermind is technically Junko again. I mean, yeah, it's Izuru, but really when you look at chapter 6 as a whole, it really just looks like Junko's the mastermind. I mean, she is the final boss here, Izuru's not really there. However, I still had a suspect for who the mastermind was, out of the cast, and my primary suspect was Sonia Nevermind. Like Hiro, to me it felt like Sonia had less of a role in the trials than all of the other survivors. Not only that, but she had many sus moments during the game. I feel like for half of the trials in the game, I had Sonia as a suspect. In chapter 2, her wetsuit is one of the biggest red herrings ever, and I was kinda stupid at the age of 14, so I didn't realize Peko used the water bottles. Well, I'm still kinda stupid, but my IQ was worse at that time. In chapter 5, Sonia was not with the group for a while, which seems suspicious to me. And in the other trials, I don't think she was one of my main suspects, but she was just suspicious for some reason. I don't really know how to explain it, but also she's a princess? If Sonia was Junko's second in command, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, if Junko had Sonia on her side, then it's very believable that she can organize a whole killing game and make an AI of herself, because I'd assume Sonia has a lot of power, being a princess and all. It would have also been funny to see Kazuichi's reaction to Sonia being the mastermind. I honestly don't know what reaction to expect, but whatever his reaction is, I think it would be entertaining. So these are the 5 characters that I think could have been the mastermind. If I had to choose a 6th, maybe Kaede would have been a cool mastermind. I personally think Chiaki could have been a cool mastermind as well, but I know a lot of people would be against that idea. And honestly, I can't see any other characters as the mastermind. So yeah, if there's any characters you think make for a good mastermind, comment it down below. As for the next video, I was planning on making a video about why I love V3's ending, but that one's just taking a long time. The script is huge. It's probably going to be my longest video if I don't cut stuff out. So I might make another shorter video and then make that one. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care.